this evening. And Rebecca, hi from Cheshire, happy to be here. And Valerie, thank you again for yesterday's conversation with Amishi. It was wonderful. Yeah, so last night I had this great honor to do a conversation with Dr. Amishi Jha, who's a wonderful neuroscientist, about attention. And actually, we're going to be drawing on a little bit of that this evening. Yeah. Kate, hi from Lincolnshire. Susan from Vancouver General Hospital, waiting for an MRI. How wonderful that you've joined us, Susan, while you're waiting for an MRI, that you've still tuned in. I hope that it helps you prepare for the MRI. And Kathy, hi from Letchworth. Sonia, hi from the New Forest in Hampshire. Fantastic to be here with you all. And Susan, isn't it perfect to be here and connecting? So that's Susan, who's waiting in the hospital for the MRI, is saying, isn't it perfect to be here and connecting? It's a very good attitude. Marita, hi from the West Midlands. Lovely to be here. Good. So yeah, it's 1 minute past the hour. So we'll just wait another moment or two. But very big warm welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us in this wonderful community. And just to remind us that we've been leading these Tuesday evening sessions, Space to Breathe, since about nearly exactly 5 years. Yeah, so it was when the lockdowns were first announced here in the UK, which I think was the 23rd of March. And then very quickly, we just wanted to do something to respond to the situation that we all found ourselves in, suddenly being shut up in our homes. And of course, we've got the technology, haven't we? We've got Zoom. So we just thought, I thought I'd just love to lead a half-hour meditation on a Tuesday evening to give us all a bit of a break, a bit of a space to breathe. And then the whole thing's just continued. Isn't it amazing that it's 5 years now that we've been doing this? And we've built this community. I know some of you have probably been coming for this whole time, ever since March. And then, of course, we've got lots and lots of new people joining us. So it's just fantastic. And I really love it myself. I lead it most of the time. Sometimes there's other teachers leading. But I get a lot from it myself, both the meditation and being with you all. So thank you for giving us this opportunity to share it with you all. So last night I did this conversation on the power of attention with Dr. Amishi Jha, who's a real leading researcher in attention. One of her things, which is very interesting, is that most people don't attend more than 50% of the time. So if you feel like you're quite inattentive, then you're just normal. That's what our minds do. If you get 50%, that's good, and that's from her research in her lab. And then she's also come up with these 3 systems of attention. One is what she calls the torch or the flashlight, which is focused, the ability to focus. The other is what she calls the floodlight, which is the ability to be present and notice everything that's happening within the present. And the third one is what she calls the juggler, which is called executive control in cognitive science, which is the ability to make decisions in line with our goals. So the executive function is the way we kind of manage our lives so that we live lives that are moving towards things that are important to us. So let's assume that we've got the juggler quite present because we've all managed to get here. So let's assume that the juggler is playing ball this evening, to mix my metaphors, that the fact that we've all organized our lives in such a way that here we are online to do a meditation, that means that this ability to use our attention creatively and aligned with our values and our goals is good. It's here. So what I'm going to do is a meditation this evening. We're going to do a little bit of focus and a little bit of breath. So we're going to do some what we can call the torch kind of awareness, where we're going to be attending to the specifics of our experience. And then we're going to rest back in broad awareness, this receptive broad awareness, both very, very important aspects of attention training. Sometimes they're called focused attention and open monitoring. That's what the scientists sometimes call them. So we'll come into the body, we'll attend to how we're feeling in the body, we'll attend to our sensations, both unpleasant and pleasant, and then we'll go into broad awareness. Okay, so the first thing we do using our executive function is we choose the position for the body. So this is this ability we have to be intelligent as humans and to make a wise choice about how we position the body. So you can do the practice sitting, you can do it lying down, or you can do it standing. It's completely up to you. Maybe choosing a position where you can be as relaxed as possible and yet alert. Those are the two kind of primary invitations. A position which is going to help us be as at ease as possible and yet alert. Yeah, so you can make your decision based on those two invitations. And then when we've chosen the position, dropping into stillness. So allowing the body to settle. Allowing the body to drop into rest. So let's feel the weight of the body, first of all, resting down into the chair or into the bed. The quality of yielding, releasing, letting go of gripping and holding on. So let's tune into the sensations of contact. If we're sitting, it will be the bottom against the chair, the back of the thighs, resting into the chair, the feet on the floor, the hands resting into the thighs or the lap. If we're lying down, it will be the back of the body, resting into the bed or the floor, the head resting into the pillow or cushion, and having the hands either resting at the sides of the body, palms upwards, or resting on the body, palms downwards. It's completely up to you. If I'm lying down and choosing what to do with my hands, I like to tune into my shoulders. What's going to help the shoulders feel most open? And seeing if we can rest into the support of gravity. But being curious about the subtle difference between yielding and collapsing. So we're looking for yielding, but we're not looking for collapsing. So yielding's got a quality of vitality, awareness, alertness to it, whilst we allow, or whilst we let in the full support of the bed or the chair beneath us. Maybe taking a few deeper breaths to help this. So breathing in and then on each out breath, releasing, yielding, settling a little bit more. And then when you're ready, allowing your breathing to find its own natural rhythm. And tuning into our emotional weather, how we're feeling right now, being careful not to judge harshly, being honest. Maybe we feel content, happy, sad, anxious, confused, don't know. Just bringing this into our field of awareness, however it's showing up. And seeing if we can meet whatever arises with a quality of kindliness, presence. What sort of thoughts are flowing through the mind? It's completely normal to think. It's what the mind does. So rather than suppressing our thoughts, we become aware of our thoughts. And we let them flow through the mind like clouds passing across the sky. Getting less tangled up with the content and letting the thoughts be mental events passing through. Now let's pay attention to sensations in the body with this focused awareness. It's not a kind of hyper focus, it's more like a torch where we're shining the light on a particular aspect of our experience, sensation. And let's be particularly curious about any areas of resistance in the body that's maybe layered on top of unpleasant sensations. Anything we're pushing away, blocking out. Just very gently and tenderly invite it into awareness as sensation. And notice the way the sensations are continually changing. They're never exactly the same one moment to the next. Rather than having a story of, say, pain, a narrative about any painful experiences we might be having, let's see if we can rest with the rise and fall of sensation. Always breathing gently with the experience. And if any experience of difficulty showing up more mentally or emotionally, see if you can find the echo in the body and rest the awareness there. It might be tense hands, tight jaw, tight stomach. Breathing with the experience, tenderly and kindly. So we're learning how to be more present to what's arising. And being careful not to over focus or force. If it all gets a bit much, then backing off a little bit. Checking that you're still giving the weight of the body up to the chair or the bed. This quality of yielding. Now let's shine the torch of awareness on pleasant sensations in the body right now. Might be softness somewhere in the body, warmth somewhere in the body, sense of ease somewhere in the body. And it can be very, very subtle. So noticing what you might think of as quite ordinary, that's got this pleasant tinge to it, and dwelling there for a few moments. How many pleasant sensations can you find in the body? And now let's cultivate the second quality of attention, which is broad, open, receptive awareness, like a floodlight that illuminates all the different aspects of the moment. And sometimes I think of this as pulling back to a wide angle lens of attention, awareness. So you've got anything that's unpleasant arising and passing, anything that's pleasant arising and passing. And seeing if we can soften the impulse to contract against the unpleasant and to grab hold of the pleasant. Let everything arise and pass, like a river of experience. Maybe experiencing sensations in the body like a great cloud, shimmering. Rather than focusing on any particular sensation, we hold everything in awareness with receptivity. Being receptive to any emotions present, flow of thoughts, any sounds, smells, tastes, allowing everything to be held in awareness, including the flow of the breath. And you probably find your mind wanders. That's normal. But when you notice your attention has drifted away, in that moment you're present. You can use your capacity to choose what you do with your attention to come back inside the body, inside experience, inside the flow, the arising and the passing of sensation, thoughts, and emotions, with a quality of presence. Every time you notice you're getting sucked into something, in the noticing, we can relax and broaden. Every time you notice you're drifting away, in the noticing, we can clarify our awareness and come a little closer to what's actually happening in the whole body, heart, mind. And think if we can bring an emotional quality of care, warmth, interest to this exploration. Now we'll transition into the doing nothing practice, sometimes called just sitting. If you're lying down, it's just lying down. So this is where we let go of any effort whatsoever. And we absorb the practice. And we experience what it's like with an attitude of nothing to do, no one to be, which of course is very unfamiliar to most of us, our busy lives. Just resting quietly, nothing to do, no one to be for a few moments. Now let's transition into a tiny bit of movement and staying inside our experience as we do. This can be very, very interesting. Just maybe fingers, hands a little bit. Just notice what happens in the mind, whether you want to rush, what happens to the breath, whether you immediately start gripping around the breath. Seeing if we can just move very, very smoothly. And then gradually coming into bigger movements, however you want to. Opening the eyes when you're ready. Meditation to a close. But seeing if we can take awareness with us. Imagine what it would be like if you were able to go through your life with both the ability to focus as appropriate and the ability to hold everything in awareness without being knocked off center as appropriate, and with the ability to make wise choices. That's pretty much what the training is, always with a sense of care and kindliness and emotional engagement. So thank you so much, everybody. And for anyone who's new, I always stay on for a little bit at the end, and people share in the chat box what they noticed in the practice. And I always read out what people say, so you don't have to keep peering at the screen. Feel free to just slip away if you want to. That's absolutely fine. And we'll see you next week. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you. I was asking about whether it's a private message, whether there's a recording from last night. I think there will be. it'll be available in not immediately because people paid to come last night. So it'll probably be in a few months' time. There'll be a recording available, but I'm not absolutely certain. So I'll ask the team and we'll put something on our community of practice about that to let you know. So lots of thanks, Valerie. I feel so peaceful now. And Hazel, absolute calm and stillness with your lovely meditation. It's lovely, absolute calm and stillness. Emily, thank you. So soothing and grounding. John, thanks for a really relaxing meditation. Julie, thank you. It was my first time joining and really value this practice. So really big welcome to you, Julie. This is interesting. Joanne felt tired and lethargic before the practice, now feeling relaxed and subtly energized. Thank you both. So that's so interesting, isn't it? All you've done is sit there for 25 minutes or so, monitoring what you do with your attention. That's pretty much what we've done. And you've gone from feeling tired and lethargic to being both relaxed and subtly energized. That's wonderful, isn't it? We often think that sort of relaxation and energy are opposites, but real relaxation is also subtly energetic and real. I think being properly energized in a sort of wholesome way has got a relaxed quality to it. And Johanna, the rough edges of my day have been smoothed away. Thank you. Yeah, I feel a bit like that. That's a very good description. The rough edges of my day have been smoothed away. Kathy, what a beautiful, restful stillness and silence in contrast to a hectic and frustrating day. And Jackie, thank you. My body felt like a heavy weight, but yet very calm and relaxed. It's nice. And Victoria, thank you for this very beautiful gradated practice. I started out with a great deal of arthritic pain, which has now largely subsided. I realized that I have been fighting the pain until the session. So that's really great to hear that shifted for you, Victoria. So for any of you, you might have thought it's an odd thing to do at the beginning where, we settled and then we attended to the unpleasant first. And that's exactly why we do that. Because often when we've got pain or discomfort, we're resisting, we're fighting it. And then, of course, that leads to lots of extra pain and tiredness. But by learning how to just be with it as sensation, to soften around it, let it flow a little bit more, then the extra pain that we add through tension and fighting can subside. So that's really great that happened for you, Victoria. And Sue, really helpful and lovely to take away into the day. Thank you so much for the stillness from Sue in New Zealand. Yes, you've got your day ahead of you. So hopefully that will set you up well for your day. And Kathleen, this was very relaxing. And yes, someone's asked again about the recording from last night. So if you go to our community of practice, I'll ask someone on the team to make an announcement about that in the next few days, about how you'll be able to access that if you weren't able to make it last night. Penny, I suddenly noticed I had completely relaxed and felt warm. Thank you. That's interesting because when we relax, we bring online the parasympathetic nervous system, and that can sometimes come with warmth. And the vagus nerve gets activated, and that can come with warmth. Yeah, so that's showing that your nervous system is regulating. Marion, just being, and being is in capital letters. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I was feeling a lot of heart pain due to grief. And when I zoomed out, I was aware of calmness in other areas of my body, and the weight lifted a little from my heavy heart. Sorry to hear about your grief. But yeah, so we sort of acknowledge it, and then by putting it in a bigger container, as it were, you notice other parts of your experience where there's calmness. Yeah. And Lean, thank you. This meditation has helped clear the migraine I have had this evening. Wow, that's really good news. And again, you cleared a migraine simply by being attentive to your attention, what you do with your attention, and using that skillfully. Alexandra, what a delight. A weight totally left me. A weight totally left me. And Meg, thank you so much. The meditation is just what I needed. So calming. Thank you, Mark, too. Susan really helped with pain panic. So this is Susan, who's very heroically doing it in a waiting room in Seattle Hospital. And it helped the pain panic. Yeah, because if we could just be with the experience in this kind of way, then some of the mind rushing into the future, the worries and so on can subside. So that's really great, Susan. Sonia, thank you very much. My first session found it very relaxing. So a big welcome to you. Helen, thank you. I needed that time out. Ah, this is nice, Joe. I am new. I found my happy place. Thank you. Especially when the cat came and curled up on my tummy. Beautiful. Soothing. Alison, thank you. Help me stay and find space around difficult feelings today. Yeah, that's again what happens. We get spaciousness around our experience. Oh, this is good. Miriam, apologies for arriving late to the session and a huge appreciation to Mark for letting me in. Yes, thank you so much, Mark. Having half a session was so much better than no session at all. So thank you. So that's a good life lesson, isn't it? You know, he's running late. You think I can't come. You come anyway. You're let in. We'll always let you in. And then you have half a session, which is better than no session. That's such a brilliant attitude. Fantastic. So, Kim, you're asking about whether you can record the sessions. We'd rather you didn't, but we've got all these Space to Breathe practices on a YouTube channel, on the Breathworks YouTube channel. So if you go to the Breathworks YouTube channel, there they all are. They're free to access, but we'd rather any of the rest of you as well, rather than personally recording, we'd rather you use the YouTube recordings. Helen, yeah, interesting. I was cold, so thought I wouldn't relax, but now feeling warm and woolly. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? How this kind of activation of the vagus nerve, relaxation, helps us warm up. Susan, thank you. That was so soothing. Have had a bad headache for days and it has finally eased. I didn't realize how much I was tensing around it. It's a good insight, isn't it? I'm glad that it's eased for you. And then Maureen, thank you so much for a most wonderful experience that only felt like moments. I was so relaxed that my body was floating. My first visit. So again, a very warm welcome to you. Great. So that's the end of the comments. Wonderful to hear from everybody and really lovely to practice with you all. So thank you so much for showing up and allowing us to practice with one another. We'll see you next week. Yeah, and this is our kind of 5-year anniversary period of starting Space to Breathe. Go well, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.
Happy anniversary. Wow.
Take care, everyone.
Anniversary, yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.